On this episode, we immerse ourselves in some good old Texas rock with two of the members of the Pulpit Ramblers, one of whom I've known since high school. My guests are guitarist Joseph and lead singer Ryan, my longtime friend from Edna, Texas. Since high school, Ryan's been living up to his rock and roll reputation, and while he might be perceived as a rebel, it was only the beginning of his journey of becoming a man, the best version of himself through music and martial arts. We also give his wife a call and talk about the beard of authority. Let's jump in. Headphones, I'll give it to you. I'm not going to plug them in.
That's badass.
Because how are we supposed to have, you know what? It's funny that you bring this up. Because my guy, Jason, that does all my editing, we fight about that all the time. He's like, well, why don't you just wear headphones? I go, because like when you have somebody over to your house and you invite them for dinner, they happen to put on a small performance. That's really nice. Like, do you want to wear headphones when you're having a conversation like about shit? Like, or is that what we're trying to do over here?
Are we on the air now?
Oh, there's no air. It's a recording. I mean, are we recording a podcast? Are we in podcast mode?
Podcast mode.
Podcast mode. Everybody, Joseph, podcast mode.
All right. I really like the Gino Vanelli album cover. I've never seen that before. Out of all the ones on the wall, I think that's my favorite.
Do we want to have this conversation real quick about how I came up with these album covers? Or can we start with, like, when did you start growing this beard and how long has this been going on?
Well, I just want to say one thing before
Sure.
we get into that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could feel it or not, but when he sat down in that chair right there, like the podcast director, the energy changed. And I felt like now.
Did you get like a B12 boost?
Like now I'm ready to do this podcast.
It felt official. It wasn't so much the sitting down. It was the mic move that got me.
But okay, so I have a question for you. Okay, so when you did your performance, okay, you said y'all don't do this very often.
Nah.
Right, okay.
Not like that.
But every single song, there came a point where you would throw encouragement at Joseph. Like you go, come on, Joe. Now, do you do that when y'all sing live? Do you do that all the time, or is it just tonight?
Nah, hell no, dude. He was doing his parts.
No,
so
but I mean,
like,
do you do that when you do it live?
talk to him, Joe. Talk to him, Joe. That's what he does.
Yeah, but is that consciously happening, or is it just something that happens as you're doing it because you're you're in that moment, you're locked into that moment?
Yeah, it just happened tonight. I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna do. It just came out.
Yeah. And so there's a level of when I sit in this chair of that kind of like lock in.
Yeah,
Right?
I get it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so again,
It's
okay,
the shit, dude.
So
I'm
look,
fucking dialing into this
hey,
shit.
no,
right now.
Okay, so like second compliment, right? I said that like I've had a lot of performances in here, but I mean, there was a level of professionalism that y'all brought when y'all stepped in here, right? And I feel like that's very important, especially when you have an art and you're protecting that art, right?
Yeah.
And that only comes through repetition of doing it.
Yeah.
And so lucky for you, this ain't my second podcast. It's like 100 and whatever the fuck, right? And so
Yeah.
the beginning was rough. You know what I mean? What was the first band practice like? Was it just natural? Y'all fucking just harmonized and everything was wonderful?
We're older, so yeah. I think for us, I think we were all experienced enough. We could get in a room and we could play together. Now, you take me back to 20 some odd years ago, the first time.
When you were Santana?
Right. Then it would have been pretty rough because we would have had 4 people playing different songs at the same time.
But you have a lock in too, right? Am I making that up? When y'all get ready to play music, he has kind of a lock in. He's like he becomes that leader in that moment that he needs the band director in that moment to everybody, and then cheers y'all on as y'all
For
perform
sure.
with him. Right? Is that not the experience?
Oh, for sure. Especially on stage, he'll take over.
Is that what I do?
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
it's just locking in, right?
I suppose it's like, man, I'm just there to rock and roll and put on a show. So if that's how it appears, maybe that's how it is. But I never thought about it. But that's a cool observation, I guess.
Well, when it's just us three in the garage, you know what I mean. I get to see everything.
Well, tonight I think it was mostly this all coming from the beard of authority.
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, I walk in the beard. It's like an air of authority that.
How long you had this beard?
Week and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was shaved it 2 weeks ago. No, here we are. It's a little testosterone supplements here and there.
That's heavy maintenance, right? Like it's heavy maintenance to have a beard that big, isn't it?
Hell no.
No.
No, I'm low maintenance, dude.
It ain't the longest beard in the band.
No, yeah, Joseph. Oh no, Patrick. Boy, he's captain fucking.
Does he put
beard,
product
dude.
in his? Like, does he do the whole product and
I
stuff?
don't know. I've never talked to him about that.
You never talked to him about his
He's
beard?
the same though. He could shave on Wednesday, and then on Saturday he's got like a 4-inch growth going.
So you haven't had this very long? Because I mean,
Nah,
we talked about this.
mean-
Like, I ain't seen you in like 30 years. I don't know what you're doing.
It's longer than it's been, but I've always had a beard for a long time, I think.
How's your wife feel about it
I don't know. You want to call her
right now?
on the podcast?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, let me call her.
Yeah. Do you think will she
It's
answer?
a serious question. I can't.
Will
huh?
she answer?
Maybe. She might
Well,
be
you
at
could FaceTime her.
She might be at a rock concert. Hang on.
Oh.
FaceTime? Oh, I got to do that after she answers. Let's see what happens. I'm FaceTiming you. I'm FaceTiming you. All right. So ask her.
So, how do you feel about Ryan's beard?
About his beard?
Yeah, like I mean, like you like it?
Yeah.
But like you want him to have it. Like you're cool with
Yes, he
it.
cannot shave.
Okay, so like it's a mandatory thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. I think that's great. Like I mean, you don't want him to like if you don't want him to have a beard and he does, that's a problem, right?
Well, I can't tell him what to do, but I can encourage him to keep the beard.
Yeah. Yeah. Does he doesn't use any products in his beard at all?
Not very often, I don't think.
She doesn't know.
Does it smell? Does his
Beard
beard
balm.
smell?
No.
Man, lucky guy. All right, that's it. That's all we need.
All right. Welcome to the podcast.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what okay, hey, what have you been doing? This is what I remember about high school, and then take me from there. I just remember feeling like that you got in a lot of trouble. Is that fair or not fair?
You want me to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, because I have no idea. So, okay, here's the thing about it. So we live in a very small town, so it's all rumors. So I don't know if you really got in trouble a lot or not. I don't know if you're really a bad kid or not. The thought was that you were a bad kid, but were you a bad kid?
Well, here's what happened.
What happened was,
So, my mom and my dad, my mom really was like the driving force of this. From the time I was 4, 5 years old, I had to go to church 3 times a week for 5 years old, 10 years, whether I wanted to or not. You know what I mean? It was church Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. And I sang in the choir. I did all of that stuff, dude. And until I was in 8th grade, all the way up till 8th grade, like, I was a good kid, dude. Like, I would go to my friend's house and shit, and they would, like, put on a rated R movie. And I literally wouldn't watch it. I was like, I can't. My mom says I can't watch a rated R movie. I ain't going to watch it. And, I mean, I was a good kid, dude. I made good grades. You know, I wasn't on the honor roll or whatever, but I tried hard. I did everything that I was supposed to do, dude, even when people weren't looking. And, I mean, I was a little mischievous, you know, but what kid isn't really? especially a boy growing up in fucking late 80s. And then I had an idea that I wanted to go to military school. And
Why did you want to go to military school?
I don't know, man. I wanted to do something different. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much.
Okay, so we grew up in a really small town. Where do you go to go to military school from, Edna?
So I went to New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell, New Mexico when I was 14.
And your parents were on board?
My parents were on board because, dude, I mean, like my dad was in the Navy, and I didn't necessarily want to go to the Navy, but my brother was in the Army at the time, and I did want to go in the military, and that was kind of like a family legacy to carry on. So I thought, if I went to military school, and it was a fantastic education. I mean, that's one of the best schools. Best prep schools in the United States.
Is it still around?
Yeah, yeah, it's been around since I think 1863. I mean, since the Civil War,
Wow.
It's been there a long time. New Mexico Military Institute, and so it was my idea to go there. It just, I read a lot, dude. Like, I think in fourth grade, I don't know what level I was reading on, but I was reading freaking Stephen King novels and shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was reading a lot. Fucking Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer. That was one of my favorite reads, dude. And it was all about adventure. And I was an adventurous kid, man. Like, I lived in my head a lot. Like, I had a big imagination. Sometimes my dad would drop me off in low water bridge, dude, and I'd go up 2 miles and spend 2 or 3 days. As a kid, like 12 years old. You know what I mean? I just had this huge imagination, and I wanted to go to military school. And so I did. My parents came up with the way. They spent a lot of money. They made some sacrifices for me to go there. But that was that time period in a dude's life where his nuts drop and you get all this freaking testosterone, right? And so I went from Edna, Texas to New Mexico Military School. And like I told you, my mom made me go to church 3 times a week. She was a great mother, but she was pretty controlling. And when I was 14 years old in military school, and it was hard, dude. I mean, it was hard. Like, military school was harder than the military was. And
In what way?
dude, I mean, they would haze the shit out of us, dude. They would beat the shit out of us there.
The people that work there?
The older students would.
The people that
cadets.
are the older kids that are monitoring the younger kids?
Yeah. The older cadets, like, they're in charge of everything. I mean, there's like monitors there to make sure shit doesn't go too far, but shit did. I mean, it was crazy. We got hazed a lot. We had to march a lot. I mean, I was probably doing 300 or 400 push-ups a day throughout the day, man, because every time an older cadet would see you, say, drop, you had to go down and just pump them out. But when I was there, I started going through puberty. My nuts dropped. And it was like, once I hit puberty, dude, it was like that testosterone on my brain just, it did a number on me. And I had more of an experience of freedom when I was in military school than I did at my mom's house, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
More probably, is it you were at your mom's house? You're being controlled mentally, is that, or controlled physically? And then at military school, how are you being controlled? Is it similar?
it's similar, but like my mom had her thumb on everything I did. In the military school, they had their thumb on everything I did until like, it was weird. It was like 5 o'clock, like from 5 to 8 or whatever. And then on the weekends, you could do whatever you wanted.
So it was less controlling.
It was a little bit less controlling in military school. And I know that's crazy to kind of wrap your brain around.
No, that makes sense, right?
That was kind of the fact of it. And at that point, during that time I went there, and during that time of my biological changes, I got this idea that I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to and no one could stop me. And then once I knew that I could do that no one could control whatever I wanted to do, it just kind of spun out from there. And I I basically did whatever I wanted to do, no matter what anybody thought about it, until I was in my early 20s when I met my wife. And then I started calming down.
Was your wife the one that made that change, like, or helped that facilitate that?
Well, it gave me a reason to do what was right. You know, I mean, I met her and I loved her, and I wanted to do whatever the hell I could to make our lives better at that point. And I mean, I'll be the first person to say that if I wouldn't have met her, I would have been dead or in prison.
Why was she different? Why was in it? Because you said you probably hurt a lot of people on the way too, just doing whatever you want, right? So why was she different?
Why? That's a good question. I mean, she just at first she wasn't different.
You treated her bad in the beginning.
Yeah, you're not bad, but you know she
Not
paid
good?
some not necessarily. I treated her like I treated everybody else, but she stuck with me. She stuck with me. Literally, I was 23 years old, living in Fort Worth. Moved up there for a while, playing in band or whatever, and you know she was, I guess, my girlfriend or whatever at the time. But I was like, look, I'm going to go back to college in South Texas, and you know need to go to school or whatever. So I'm out. 6 months later, she was in the dorm next to me. I mean, she just, you know, I didn't try to shake her. I didn't even probably have that thought, but turns out I didn't shake her. And no, so yeah, I mean, she changed my life. So I guess, I mean, I don't know if I'm ranting or not, but
No.
that's kind of how it was. And that's kind of, I mean, I wasn't a bad kid. I didn't do too much bad shit, I guess, dude. But I mean, like, I never went to jail. I've never been to prison, but
Both those good.
yeah, I've been to jail actually.
I've been to jail.
but
You been to jail
I have.
in Stephenville?
I have. We went to.
You haven't wrote about the song about the Stephenville jail? We need to do that pronto.
It'll be in the
On the
second volume.
the second volume of the
No,
story
we-
album.
We drove to Proctor, and my buddy got pulled over because his license plate light was out. So we got pulled over in Dublin, Texas. So,
Oh man, Dublin, Texas.
Yep. So most people think of Dublin Dr. Pepper in Dublin, but I got arrested by the Dublin police. Got shipped to Stephenville.
But yeah, that's how that went, dude. I was kind of a product of, I think, puberty and I don't know, some odd discipline at military school that changed my thinking on things.
All right.
So hopefully that explains it a little bit.
Okay. So because I want so well to know what to say, but I don't. Okay. What type of martial arts do you practice? Is that the right question to ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, ninjutsu.
Okay. Ninjutsu.
Yeah, it's called Ninpo. They call it Ninpo, Ninpo.
Okay. So what is Ninpo?
It's so you know you had different traditions in Japan. You had in the ancient. These are old martial arts. Like some of the schools I study are 400 or 500 years old. You had the samurai tradition,
Mhm.
which they were bound by a code called Bushido. They were honor bound, and so that's. I mean, if you think of it, it's like you know, there's rules. We're gonna fight, but there's some rules in it. You know,
Mhm.
there's no dirty, underhanded tactics. And then you had the old ninja traditions, which were they were kind of like the guerrilla fighters, and they did whatever it took to win.
Okay. So, and you are saying the word ninja.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ninjutsu. Yeah. So that's kind of what turned me on. I was a big fan of it in the 80s, and then when I was 27 years old, I started training in I guess like a ninja. I hate to say it because it's so ridiculous nowadays, but the stigma with it's kind of ridiculous. But
That's kind of what my brain was going to. It's like, well, obviously this is like a practice martial arts, but it's blown out of proportion because like little boys love ninjas. You know
Yeah,
what I mean, like
it's-
that pretty much, right?
yeah, it's blown way out of proportion. But I mean, Hollywood did that to it. But that's actually what got me into
G.I.
it. was-
Joe did that. No, like I feel like G.I. Joe is one of the fucked up ninjas.
Yeah. So
Snake Eyes, Shadow,
Storm Shadow.
Storm Shadow.
yeah. So anyway, long story short, I started training in in Little Rock, Arkansas, under a guy. And then I moved back to Fort Worth, and I started training under. His name was Greg Weathers. He was actually deputy police chief in Fort Worth Police Department, and I mean he was in charge of a whole battalion of cops, and he was my teacher, and he basically beat the shit out of me for the first 2 years that I came in there. Like I didn't take one test. He was getting ready to get out of teaching, and he just beat the shit out of me, and I just kept coming back. You know, I never quit. And eventually I became the teacher, and I've been to Japan several times. Since then, my teacher is retired, and his teacher, who lives in Milwaukee, is actually my teacher, who's a direct student of the Grandmaster in Japan. And, you know, it's we do a lot of old school jujitsu, like real Japanese jujitsu. My teacher goes there. He spends a month there, probably every year, 2 weeks to a month, and trains under the Grandmaster. And he's been training since he was 18.
He's getting his like ECUs, huh? Like he's getting his point, like to make sure he keeps his diploma current, right? Like getting that exposure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's 100. Like everything we're doing is exactly what they're doing in Japan. I mean, they've got a pretty tight rein on it. And my current teacher now, who was my teacher's teacher, is my teacher now. It's kind of a weird deal, but after my teacher retired, I became his teacher's student. Right, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. He's trained under the Grandmaster in Japan since he was 18 years old.
Wow.
And he was a gymnast before that point. So I mean, he's fantastic, man. I mean, he's in his 50s, but you wouldn't know it. He looks like he's 35 years old. Fantastic shape. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing that since I was 27 years old. I teach in Fort Worth now, and you know, got several students. It's cool.
Amazing.
It's I never thought I'd be doing it this long. I mean, it's all fun and games in your 20s and 30s. You know, you're throwing people around, getting thrown around. You know, but it gets rough, dude, when you start pushing 50 and still have to do all that. So yeah, it's challenging, but it's. I don't know.
Tell me what you love about
it. So I guess when I was a kid, dude, I mean, I hate to say this, but I did used to be just like kind of like I guess I was an asshole. I don't know. I was a fighter. I like to fight. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so were you a fighter before you went to military school?
Yeah. I got in a lot of fist fights growing up.
Were you a fighter as like a little kid?
Yeah, always. And so I started training in Japanese martial arts to become a better fighter. But since then, after all the training, I hate fighting now. Like, I don't want to fight nobody under any circumstances unless it's like a life or death situation.
Why?
Because I don't, it's
not the way.
It's not the way. It's
That's
bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
And now my martial arts makes me a better person.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about now, is being a better person and to be better than I was yesterday. And martial arts is it's an avenue for that, because every time I go in that dojo, I get better and I learn something else, and I'm able to teach these principles to people who were like me when I came in there, and they become better people. So that's what martial arts is to me now.
I'm assuming that's what your teachers did for you, right?
They did.
But did you realize they were doing that?
No, they didn't realize that they were teaching me that either. This is just something that I picked up along the road.
I bet I can't help but feel that's part of the process, right? That's part of the growth as a practicing martial arts, right? Is that the growth process you just, alluded to?
It was my growth process. I don't know if it's everyone's.
You don't think?
I don't know.
Joseph, you want to chime in? What do you think, outsider?
Yeah. I mean, that is what you always hear, right? Is the, you take martial arts so that you don't have to fight. There's more to it than just throwing punches. There's a spiritual side to it, and there's
the art of war, the art of peace.
Exactly. There's the yin and the yang there, to where it probably is a calming thing, and it is kind of ironic. mirror what he said, where that is the whole reason everybody does it originally is I want to get better at fighting, or I want to be able to throw this bully to the ground. And then once you learn it, it's almost like you've got the confidence that you know you could do it if you had to, but now you no longer have the desire.
Doesn't
to
even
do it.
matter.
Yeah.
I would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war,
Ooh, that's deep.
I suppose. I think that was Sun Tzu that
I was
wrote that.
gonna say, I think that was Sun Tzu.
But I was kind of, but I was like, well, I'm not gonna try to jump out there. Okay, hey, so I have a quick question. So people get into martial arts because they're trying to learn they want to learn how to fight, right? And then at some point, it serves this different purpose, right? And when we were talking earlier, you were like, man, like I just want to learn how to play guitar because I want to learn how to shred. Is there a different thing that happens with you now playing the guitar, appreciation, a growth and appreciation in that same way than, hey, I just want to shred? Or do you just still want to shred?
Dude, there's always a part of me that does want to shred.
You should have a shirt that just says, I just want to shred.
Yeah, but I mean, for sure. I think the biggest thing is when you're younger, your influences are so you've got tunnel vision, right? You know 3 guitar players and that's all you want to be. But as you get older, you find different influences, different things speak to you. You learn different arts. So inevitably, you're growing, and I think that comes with it. Yes, as I've learned, the subtleness of maybe a different guitar player that in my 30s than what I was listening to at 17. Now I want to emulate that a little bit more, and maybe I get away from the shredding. So you always learn. I mean, I try to take lessons.
You have a teacher coach that you.
I've had a guy
Off and on?
Off and on. That's the beauty of YouTube today. We didn't have that growing up.
God bless. God bless YouTube University.
Right. But yeah, I've taken Western swing lessons. You name it. I've tried to just pick up different art forms that just
But they all
it makes me better, but on the other hand, it's it grows me.
They all come back to whatever you're trying to create, right? Yeah, just that exposure, just a different. What can I bring into the music that I make, right?
Yeah, I know a guy that grew up in Africa. His parents were missionaries, and he learned to play the guitar, but he learned to play the guitar listening to music in Africa. So when I play with him today, and he starts playing the guitar, I have no idea what he's doing, because he's playing the same instrument, but he's approaching it from a mindset that's half the world away that I've never seen. So I'm amazed by that. I'm amazed how he approached it from a completely different angle, and he's phenomenal. And
But I think you did.
amazing how we learned that.
When we talked before, you did a little bit of that too. You were like, I thought that was amazing. He goes, I heard Wonderwall, and I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Right. The music that you were exposed to allowed you the space to learn what you wanted to learn. The music he was exposed to gave him that
Right.
space. That's this unique learning experience. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right. You ready to switch chairs? I got a question for both of y'all, but I gotta get you to switch chairs.
While you're doing that, can we cut to so I can pee?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, we can take a break. What's a who? What?
But let's leave that in, though. Next time we come back, we're going to need a sponsored by right here so we can.
I mean, I wish I could say that I was at some level to gain something by sponsorship. of
For
this
the
shit.
fine folks from Bar S Meats.
You know what's so funny is in the beginning, I used to sponsor my friends. I would sponsor my friends' shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're not paying me nothing, but I would just be like, hey.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, do you have some shit, like some of my friends' bars and stuff like that? So tell me if this is an unfair question for you, Ryan.
Mhm.
If I said your top 5 guitarists, could you answer that question? Or is that not something you're interested in? I know. I think I can get him. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about you. Even him talking a while ago, I was like, he has 5 guitarists. Do you have 5 guitarists? performers, singers? Can we go performers, singers?
Yeah, man. So maybe not 5, but
Top 3.
so Mark Knopfler, number 1.
And who is this gentleman?
Dire Straits.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Love him. I love Junior Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both, guitar player, singer guys. They write songs and play lead on them. Man, I don't know who else, dude.
About Rich.
Rich Brotherton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic too.
He's the best.
Who is this gentleman? Help me out since I don't.
That was Robert Earl Keen's guitar player for a long time. He actually played on one of my recordings.
Yeah, he recorded with Ryan.
No
in the
way.
Early days.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the songs we played tonight, in fact, Jackson County Moon, he played lead on it.
I play it with a lot fewer notes.
Well, it's still cool. Still,
Why? So when you say that, why do you play it with fewer notes?
Because Rich Brotherton is, in my opinion,
he's a fucking monster.
He's, as far as Texas country music goes, he's the best guitar player I've ever seen. I'm sure there's somebody in some outpost somewhere that can outdo him, but he's the perfect blend of technical, rhythm, and feeling. I love Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, now we're getting in my wheelhouse.
But there's not a lot, in my opinion, and Randy Rhoads, all these guys, in my opinion, they're fantastic. But there's very little feeling. Once you get past Eddie Van Halen, all these 80s guys that are all phenomenal, just the greatest of the great, they don't play with any feeling or emotion. They just play as technical and as fast, and that doesn't speak to me. Whereas a guy like Rich Brotherton, he can play technical and he can play fast, but boy, he can also play with some emotion in a song, and that's the biggest difference. Is I don't want some guy who's just blazing up and down the neck for no good reason.
It's hard for me to say who's my favorite guitar player, because it's just everyone brings something so different to the table that complements the music they're playing. Yeah. So I can't be like, well, this dude's better.
Right.
Okay. So, what was your 3-part pie you had there? Feeling, technical, and what was the other one?
Did I say
Emotion?
emotion? Probably.
No. Technical,
So technical.
feeling. What was the other one?
I don't remember.
I don't know. We have to rewind
I
it.
have to rewind it.
Damn it.
Well, it was good too. It
was good,
It's
'cause-
obviously something I practice daily. That's the reason why I can't remember it.
Well, here was the thing. I was wondering, this is an easy answer, right? In that pie chart of 3, how much this feeling, being able to feel the feeling that person's playing, how much is that important to you? What percentage is that important to you?
I mean, it's all about complementing the music.
Yeah.
So it's not important to me. It's like if what they're doing complements the music, then that's
Yeah, there's a time and place. So like I look at if I had to pick, not the best guitar player of all time, but who to me, when I listen to him, I'm floored. That'd be Dwayne Allman. When I hear him, I'm floored at
From
what
the Allman Brothers?
Yes, at what he could do, and he died at 24, I think. In his early 20s, what he could do to a guitar that nobody had ever done before. But when I listen to that kind of music, to me, it's 100% feel. It is stop you dead in your tracks, and you're mesmerized by what he can do and the emotion that he gets out of you. And when somebody can move you with a musical piece, that's impressive. But yeah, you can't have chocolate cake for every meal, right? At some point you got to take it down a notch, and hey, the guitar needs to fit the song. You can't just have your eyes closed and playing the ridiculous slide up and down the neck for 24/7. At some point you got to be subtle and have some nuance to your playing. So there's always a blend.
for sure.
Did Eddie Van Halen do that?
So my favorite Van Halen song is Atomic Punk. And that's the easiest Van Halen song to play. There's no ridiculous notes on top of notes. It's not one of those songs where he would turn his back to the audience so you couldn't figure out what he was doing. It is just, I mean, it's a little bit more than what ZZ Top was doing, basically, but it is as close to a ZZ Top song as Van Halen ever got, with just this simple little 3-note riff. So he could do that. But, you know, everybody fell in love with Eruption, so then he had to throw one or two of those on every album. So
it was kind of this trick he was doing, and then it kind of became a thing almost, huh?
it did, and he got ruined by the fact. And look, I love him,
Did
but
it take away from him as a guitarist, you think?
I think what took away from him is he did something in 1977 that lit the world on fire that nobody had ever seen. But by 1982, every big hair guitar player in California was doing exactly what he was doing, and they just copied him. So then it wasn't as
Cool.
It wasn't as cool anymore because you had 1,000 guys that were the new Eddie Van Halen, and you know, I don't know. I think, you know, to me, a guy like Stevie Ray Vaughan was something similar. A guy who was just otherworldly, the best guitar player in my lifetime for sure. But then you got other guys nowadays that it's easy to copy Stevie Ray Vaughan. The trick is to be the first one, right? So,
And they're not writing none of their shit, really.
yeah, I mean, so you've always got that. When you hear something the first time, it's amazing, but then after a few years, that's why it's cyclical, you know, because people copy it. They copy what's good. And by doing so, it does take a little bit away from the original when you've got 100 people that are just doing the same thing.
Ryan, who's somebody that you feel it, like when they play and sing, that like you personally feel it?
Oh, man.
I think that's such an interesting feeling that, you know, that, and it's kind of different for everybody, the people that make them feel it, and why do they kind of have this thing that they make them feel, you know?
In my opinion, well, I mean, this is kind of cliche, I guess, but Guy Clark. Have you heard of Guy Clark?
Mm-hmm.
Just, he could put emotion into one chord that you can't feel anywhere else. And then also, I've seen this dude play 30 times probably, Billy Joe Shaver.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Billy Joe Shaver does, man.
Would it be fair to say it's like raw? Is it like, it feels very raw?
It's raw as hell.
Oh
It's
man,
raw
so
as
like
hell.
I'm onto something. Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I like a songwriter like Shaver, like Guy Clark, that can take just nothing, dude. A piece of wood and some strings and just very minimal accompaniment, and just create a feeling that, like a wave of emotion that you can't experience unless you're standing in front of them listening to it live. And Junior Brown's the same way. I've seen Junior Brown, and he just blows me away. And it's him and his wife playing rhythm guitar and a freaking drummer. And the drummer only has a snare and a hi-hat.
Hi-hat.
And that's it. And dude, he'll take you on a roller coaster ride, and it's freaking amazing.
Yeah. 1 minute it sounds like Webb Pierce, and then the next it's Jimi Hendrix, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Do y'all? Okay, so I'm assuming that like at any given moment you'll kind of get in the zone when you're like playing a show and stuff like that. But do y'all ever come off of playing a show and y'all recognize it together? Like, yo, we were on tonight, and like, what does that feel like?
Yeah, our last show we played at the Shack in Edna, dude. We
Yeah.
fucking ripped that place up.
Okay, like so tell me about it. Tell me about the show. Like, what was it?
I don't know, man. It was just a 2-hour show. Have you been to the Shack?
I have not.
Okay. Well, it's out there. You know where Lolita is, right?
Yes, sir.
You know where Garcitas Creek is, right?
Yes, sir.
It's on the left between the two. Like if you're going from Lolita to Garcitas Creek. Willie Chandler, you know Willie?
Yes, sir.
He owns it. He booked us down there, and it was like we played Friday night at the Chili Spill, and it was kind of odd there. You know, I mean, it was cool. It was a cool place. You know, I saw a lot of people that we knew, but it was just like, you know, I mean,
You're not gonna vibe everywhere.
there were some people milling around, and literally, like, it was kind of like today, dude. Like, we drove down there, and we drove through the freaking rain,
yeah.
traffic. You know, we get there. You know, this is kind of how it goes. We loaded up at like 9 a.m. You know, started packing everything up, loaded the trailer, drove through traffic, rain. Finally got down there, built the PA back up that day. By the time we got on stage, we were like, I think I could speak for everybody. Everybody was just like fucking zonked, dude. I mean, after a long work week, then we're going to play a show, so it was good. We played a good show there that night. I'm not saying that it was a bad show, but the next night, when everybody got rest, we went over there to the shack. We had a proper sound check and everything, in-ears, all that, whatever. Dude, I mean, we just lit off the first chord, and we're a little different, right? Because like our sound is different. Like people aren't used to hearing kind of like what we do. We're in a different, not genre, but we have a different sound. Normally when we start playing, it's like for the first couple of songs, people are like, they're just kind of looking at us like that. And then by song 4 and 5, they're doing this. And then by the end of the night, these motherfuckers are swinging from the rafters, dude. And that's what happened at the shack. I mean, we were on, dude. Everybody was on. It was lit. Everybody was on fire. The crowd, it was great. I mean, they yelled for encores. You know what I mean? So it was cool. So yeah, we've had several nights like that.
So you led off this conversation with like how horrible it was to get there, right?
It was, yeah. I mean, it was a beating.
Right. But still, when I asked, like, hey, tell me about this really great memory where you like got in the zone and you had this whole feeling, blah, blah, blah. So that has to be why you do it, right? Like that feeling of adrenaline of playing for these people and stuff like that. That's why you drive in the rain. That's why you do all this stuff. That's why you go over here. That's why you play multiple shows. That's why you practice. That's why you do all the things, because you want to be on in that moment and be present with those people and make a vibe. You want to make an energy, right?
It's energy. It's energy. It's about creating that energy as raw as possible. We're pretty freaking raw with our band. And having that wave go out and the audience feeling that energy and sucking them in and giving them the best time of their life. That's what it's all about, is being in the energy of that moment that can never be duplicated. It's freaking amazing. And I think that's why I do it.
I mean, it can't be for the money at this point, right?
Oh, it's never been about the money.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I think, surprise, surprise, I do this for free, right? It's not about the money. It's about, like, when we took a break, I was asking Joseph, like, hey, you got any feedback for me so far? He goes, man, it's just so comfortable in here. And I was like, I'm perfect. That's the vibe I want to create in the room when we're having this conversation. This is my version of the shack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be able to sit down and just like say, hey, tell me about some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, I wish I could say it was about the money, dude, but I mean, it's just not. I don't
Well,
I'm hoping that one day it is about the money, to be honest with you.
I mean, that's nice. It's nice, but
Look, it would be who's going to turn down money? Okay, nobody's going to turn down money.
nah, I mean,
At the
everybody
same
wants to quit
time,
that
though,
9 to 5.
At the same time, I think you'd agree with this. The more money you get, roughly the less control you're going to have over the art that you make.
It depends.
And it depends on how you make those deals and what you're willing to sacrifice, right?
Right, sure.
So right now, after all this time, I could put ads on my podcast, but I don't, because I'm not really ready to sacrifice. I mean, like, I'm just trying to get people to listen, right? I'm trying to put out something interesting. It's not the time to ask for money. You know,
Right.
this is not the time to be making money. This is the time to make like good content, right?
Art. I mean,
Art,
it's an
yeah,
art.
good
What you
art.
do is an art.
I feel like it is.
What we do is an art. Yeah,
100%.
yeah, you're a master of the art of conversation.
Well, I'm trying to be.
No, you're doing a good job.
Well, okay, so like in martial arts, do you ever truly become the master? Are you always learning?
No, in my experience and in my art, like as long as I'm here, I'll always have a teacher.
Right.
Yeah. So no, I learn every day. Learn every day. Right now I'm working on two third degree black belts, and it's, after that's fourth degree, after that's fifth degree. I don't think I'll ever get past that in my lifetime, but if I do, there's 6, there's 7, there's 8, and you never get to 10th because that's where the grandmaster is. So I'm a lifelong student, man.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong. Like when you get to that level of like black belt, it's just kind of like whenever they decide that you're ready, right? Like when you've done enough that they feel like that the person teaching you feels like that you graduated, or is there an actual test?
No, there's an actual test. You have material that you have to master. I say you never master it, but you have to you have to perform at a certain level. You have to get a very good understanding of what you've been taught, and then you have to I guess perform that. It's probably not the right word, but you have to demonstrate what you've been taught at a very high level, and that's how you pass your test. You fail.
Hey, tell me about being in the zone on stage compared to being in the zone when practicing a martial art.
So for me, I don't know, dude. When I hit that mat, I'm in the zone. And I don't worry about nothing. Everything is going to go freaking great.
Is it different on stage?
No.
So it's the same, huh?
Well, it's less pressure in martial arts. There's a lot of pressure there to perform right, but I don't have people with cameras. I don't have a million eyes on me. I don't have people in the back going like this, or musicians in front going like this. You know what I mean? It's not, there's not as much pressure to be badass in the moment as there is on stage. When you're on stage, you got to fucking bring it. You got to bring it on the mat too, but there's not that many people watching you.
All right, Joseph, weigh in. I got to know what you think.
On the mat, it's one-on-one. On stage, you've got 4 other people up there too that they're dependent on you. If I come in and I'm not if I'm not on the right count when I come in, that throws everything off.
There's so much shit going on, man. There's so many parts.
So you have to be on, but more importantly, you all have to. That's the difference. Is you all have to be in the same zone. You have to find that continuity where all of you are in the zone together, and that's the difference.
Yeah, there's pressure, and my main thing, dude, is I have to remember. Like I was telling you earlier, I got to remember every freaking word to every song, because if I don't, and if I have a brain fart in the middle of it, it doesn't come off good. It doesn't come off good on live performance. So you got to stay on top of it, dude. If you write a song and you record it, you got to remember that son of a bitch forever.
Okay, so there's 5 of y'all in the group, right? Okay. If one of y'all is not in it, are all of y'all out? Or can the 4 of y'all override the one? Does that make sense as far as being in the zone, kind of playing together?
I don't think that's ever happened in our scenario.
Yeah.
So pretty much, you gonna go pee?
No, I'm getting a beer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah. So pretty much, y'all all kind of have to be in.
Yeah, and there's a difference between, I would say, you could probably get by if you were just going through the motions. If you had somebody there that just, I know the song, I'm not feeling it, but I'm still hitting all the right notes. I think you could tell. If they weren't into it, I think it would come across and it would bring everybody down. Luckily, we've never had that. When we're all 5 together, even though we're just goofing around playing a song in our tiny little rehearsal space, there's still energy. And it gets hot in there when we're all together playing and we're moving around, and
those tubes are baking.
Yeah, I mean, there's always energy when the five of us are playing. I know it's cheesy, but it is. We are greater than the sum of our parts, right? So there's.
I don't think it's cheesy at all. I think that it's something. This might sound cheesy. I think it's something that is probably been done outside of our society all the time, like these kind of group gatherings of making music with men and blah blah blah. But we don't view it the same way here, like in a band sense of how important that is to make art with our fellow guys or whatever we're doing, right? To have that outlet in that way to make art or make music or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in our situation, like all of us, I mean, we're all seasoned musicians. We've all played with great people before.
Okay,
And
so
we all bring so much to the table, I think, and everyone's serious about it that you don't have to worry about someone being like, not there, not taking
there's
it
no
seriously.
weak link.
There's really not.
No, it's good.
well, I mean, but again, like it's because that's the expectations y'all are kind of setting. You know what I mean? I think that's so important. Okay, so have y'all ever played in a band where like somebody in there is like going through like a divorce or some shit's going down and it's just fucking up the whole vibe of the whole band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've had some bad
yeah.
shows before.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with people that weren't committed. I've worked with people that weren't very good musicians. I mean, there's been several different iterations that. I mean, that's the reason why they fail, right? That's the reason why that they dissolved. If this one, it's good. We're all roughly the same. I would say roughly the same skill set. We blend well. We've got similar interests, but we all have unique influences as well.
Yeah.
No, it'd be boring if all five of us said we like the exact same five groups, and that's the music that I grew up playing. There'd be no diversity, and it'd be boring. But what makes us good is we all have little pieces of. Well, actually, I kind of grew up. I loved 70s glam rock like T-Rex and Bowie and stuff like that, and Sweet and Slade. I've got a little bit of that in some of my power chords when I'm playing, and everybody's got their own unique little flavor, and
no one brings any bullshit to the table either.
Well, y'all are all there to make art. Y'all are all showing up to make art, and I think that's the commitment you are making. The minimum commitment you're making together is we're all going to show up to make art, and when someone's not showing up to do that, if you're not showing up to do that, it fucks everything up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure everybody's got their issues and shit,
But part of also doing this is kind of leaving that at the door to have a release, I would think.
Fucking right, dude.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we go in there, man. We were like, all right, got a new fucking song. Let's make art out of it.
Hey,
that's what we do. And we get it down. We go to the studio. We fucking record it. We put a set together. We go play shows, and that's it. I mean, it's real simple.
I can say this because my girlfriend doesn't listen to the podcast. The reason we have 3 pianos in our house is for like that exact reason. I don't want her to ever not have a reason to have an outlet not to make music, because I understand how important it is for her as a person.
Yeah.
Just as a person, like you were talking about, like I gotta like get this out. Like
Yeah.
I think that's it's so great to recognize that and have something to do that. I think a lot of people probably need that and don't try to explore and find what their thing is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess this is my thing. Ryan, you go first. What's some music that I wouldn't think that you're really into that you're into? Do you think like that? I'd be like, no way.
I like Mexican gangster rap.
Like who?
Like Capone. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I like that shit.
Cause you like the Spanish in it? Is that the part?
Nah, dude. I grew up down there in the dirty South. I got a lot of Mexican friends, man. I was a bit of a chump when I was younger, and I don't even like rap, but I like Mexican gangster rap, dude.
What about you, Joseph? What are you into that I wouldn't think you'd be into?
The guy that I think is the best performer in the world is Bruno Mars.
Oh, hey, Let me tell you something. Have you seen him live?
I never have. My wife was wanting to take us
Hey,
for New Year's, but that was a little too much.
look, he is worth every fucking penny. And I'm not really a big Bruno Mars fan. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
he's
I know
great.
his songs. I don't own any. Like, I don't download any of his music. But let me tell you something. That show is next fucking level.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, he's number one on my bucket list of, and I mean, I've got very, very eclectic taste. I mean, I like, Mexican stuff, or Spanish speaking. I like Juanes. I think Juanes is,
Is that a rock band?
and it's a Mexican singer, and I saw him about, I don't know, 17, 18 years ago, and I thought he blew me away. I didn't understand a thing he was saying.
Is it is it back to the feeling?
It
again?
is.
Is it?
It is.
Is there a feeling around Mexican like gangster rap? Is there a feeling?
Nah, not really.
No feeling.
No, it's just the attitude for me.
But that's a feeling, right? The attitude is a feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
The
but it's-
guy's holding the solid gold AK-47s that does it.
I think so. Must be something like that.
This final segment is brought to you by HeyJustBe.com. I believe that achieving balance in the mental, physical, and metaphysical aspects of your purpose through learning, serving, and creating can transform your life into one you truly enjoy living. Want to learn more? Visit www.heyjustbe.com.
It is so great that we already brought all this up. So what I usually do is at the end, ask people, what do you do to just be the best version of yourself so you'd be good for everybody else? So I'm assuming making music is part of that, right? The way you take care of yourself. So like y'all guys have anything else you do that maybe someone would take as a good suggestion of like how they can make themselves better? You said you read a lot. What you still read a lot?
Not as much as I used to. No. I'm very sorry about that. I should have
Is that
turned
alarm?
off.
Is that your wife calling you back?
I don't know what
Sending you
that
back.
is. Yeah, the last book I read was about the life of Miyamoto Musashi. I'm trying to think of the fucking name of it, dude. I'm not good at coming off.
What's some any what do you do to take care of yourself? What else do you do besides make music?
Take care of myself?
Yeah.
I do. I do some. I eat keto. Lost
Yeah.
75 pounds in the last, I don't know what year and a half.
Yeah.
Whoa, you lost 75 pounds?
75 pounds, dude. I was getting up there, and I didn't even realize it. till one-
Almost $3 bills.
yeah, I mean,
Whoa, like okay, let's back up. Like well, first of all, congratulations.
one day I got on the scale at my wife's aunt's house, dude, and it said 297 pounds.
Dang.
And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even realize I was that big. And I said, this has got to stop, man. So I just started eating keto, just kind of like I did tonight. Meat, deep green vegetables. Other than beer, I don't drink anything but water, tea, and coffee. And that's it, dude. And the weight just started falling off.
Yeah.
So I do that. I do some yoga, train jujitsu once or twice a week, and that's about it. I mean, I try to stay as stress free as I can, even though my job's kind of crazy as a landman. But, yeah.
What about you, Joseph?
Yeah, I'm pretty. I'm pretty calm most of the time. It takes a lot to get me stressed out or overly excited, but obviously, to me, my biggest stress relief is I keep my guitar next to me while I work. So between meetings, calls, me doing work on the computer, I pick it up, and I mean I can't tell you how many songs I've just written because I'm sitting there at work and I need an outlet. I do that a lot. And
Okay,
that,
wait. Do you keep an electric guitar next to you at work, or you keep an acoustic guitar next to you at work?
both. So right now I've gotten to where I've got a Les Paul that I keep, but I don't plug it in. So I just have it because where I work now, my wife, we're in the same office at the house, and so she's like 8 feet from me. So the electric that's not plugged in, it's not loud.
Yeah.
I can play it, and I'm not too distracting. Hopefully, when I get the new office built in the backyard, I'll be able to plug that bad boy in. It'll be a little bit more fun. But yeah, for now, it's mostly just A finger pick, mess around on that. One thing I like to do is I like to learn. So I'm constantly trying to push myself that learn a skill that I can utilize for work.
Well, like,
So,
okay, so what?
Things like learning more advanced statistics, statistical analysis. R programming is one where I kind of taught myself. Took some online things and learned that statistical programming. Just kind of keep growing. So whatever I'm doing, I like to be better at it. So I just like to continue to learn things like that.
Well, I mean, I feel like that should be like just an overall attitude for life, right? Like if you're gonna do it, like why don't you do it like the best of your ability and try to learn how to be better at it?
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to be the best, but there's no reason you can't be better, right? So,
Well, you have to be your best,
Right.
Whatever your best is,
Yeah.
right?
What was your question about, like, what advice would I give somebody? What was that? What was the original question?
The original question is what I usually ask people is like, I have a certain routine of shit I do to make sure that I'm not an asshole to anybody else, right? And that's my list, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that like you playing music is part of what helps you not be an asshole to everybody, to make you the best person you could be. And so I was kind of curious, like, is there anything else? Like you're like, oh, like martial arts, I could see that being part of it. But you're like, oh, I like to cook on Sundays, and if I do this, blah blah blah, that makes me feel good. And so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the main thing is that a lot of people don't realize is you're not defined by your past. You know what I mean? Just because you were an asshole or you did some fucked up shit or whatever yesterday doesn't mean you have to be that way tomorrow. And I think the key for everybody in being a better person and being the best they can be is just taking a little bit of time to reflect at the end of the day and go, what did I do today? And how can I do that better tomorrow? And just because I was an asshole today, tomorrow is a new day and I can freaking change. I'm not defined by my past. I can be better. And I think that's the key is just is being better and being able to reflect on things that you can improve on. And I don't know if enough people do that. I think a lot of people are really defined by their past, and that's just that's fiction because every day is a new day.
Well, full transparency, we kind of talked about this. So like, I guess basically, did you come back to Edna High School, to our high school after 14?
Yeah, for a little while ago.
Okay. But I mean, it's fair to say probably the reason why I don't remember a lot about you because you weren't there a lot during like that time.
Right. Yeah. No, I ended up going to Faith Academy in Victoria.
So,
Yeah.
These last thoughts and, rumors and how small towns work is like, oh, like, Ryan's the troublemaker, blah, blah, whatever, right? So then, I social media stalk you on Facebook, and you're just writing all this really positive stuff that I was just like, dang, like I feel like this guy gets it. You know what I mean? That doesn't, I mean, of course you're not the same kid you were when you were 22
Thank
now,
God.
right? But I don't even know that guy. Well, I mean, you're part of that guy, but not all that guy.
Yeah, I was wild as hell.
But the point being is that, exactly speaking to what you just said, is like, it
Right.
told me that this guy has great awareness about where he was and where he is now and how he wants to be. And I thought that spoke volumes. And then, to perform music and perform art, stuff like that, it also speaks volumes about who you are as a person, why you do the things you do and stuff like that. And so I just wanted people to see that.
Well, fuck, if I didn't have a crazy life, dude, back in the day, I would have shit to write about now. So,
Well,
I
everything
appreciate
serves a
all of
purpose,
it.
I guess, huh?
yeah, I mean, it gives me, I've got a pool to pull from. So,
Well, I would love to say that the reason I'm not a songwriter is because I have nothing to write, but that's not the case. It's because I can never be a songwriter. I'm good at running my mouth, but not in songs.
well, everyone has their talents. I guess we have to work
yeah.
them out.
Well, okay. usually, if I don't, I'm never. Well, I guess I have. I usually ask people when we get out of here to give me a hug. Are y'all guys down for like a group hug?
I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
game.
like, look, Joseph just met me. You haven't seen me in 34 years, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna step up here and just get a hug from these guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God, y'all are so fucking tough. Thank you so much, fellas. Appreciate it.